is Nancy Douyon. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, but I rep Haiti very hard because my parents are Haitian. I've been avoiding the Bay like all my life. I've been trying to avoid coming here because I thought this is where I would end up. And I wanted to see so many other places, and I noticed everybody in tech was moving to the Bay. So I wanted to live in Chicago, and Detroit, and Florida. And so I knew I was eventually gonna end up in the Bay, so I kind of took careers in different places where I could kind of experience other major cities. And so eventually, while I was working at IBM and DC as a consultant for user research and UX, I was kind of hollered at by Google. It wasn't their first time hollering at me, and they gave me an opportunity to move out here, and I kind of moved out here kicking and screaming because I loved DC so much. But when I got out here, I realized it didn't quite make as much sense that I was trying to stay away from the Bay, because this started to feel like who I am. I started experiencing creative people who are also technical, which I haven't really experienced in other places, and also experiencing like this kind of no rules kind of world, which is, the East Coast is just kind of like structured and rules and things like that. So coming to the Bay and being in a place where you can be creative, you can think outside the box, you can be vocal and it be somewhat respected is kind of what keeps me here. My goal, or the goal of a UX researcher or UX person, is to make products more useful for the people using them, right? So it's really about designing things with some of the results from our labs, from some of the things that we know from everyday data, some principles we know about design that will help users accomplish their goals as easily as possible. What's interesting about the tech world in general is it's a small world. And so friends from Boston, Detroit, DC, New York, Oregon, somehow all ended up in the Bay anyway. So I already had a huge network of friends here when I got here. And those folks know people, and anyone who kind of knows me out here knows I'm constantly trying to do events to entertain people. So I'm very passionate about bringing people together. My goal is to be a leader in this industry, or really to be boss lady one day in any industry. And I think that it is really hard to be a woman in this world, because sometimes you feel like you have to behave differently from yourself just so you can be heard. And so I think it's been difficult, I'd say, so to speak, but I actually think that there's hope that things are gonna get better, because there's been so much noise around this area. A lot of women are starting to speak up about the fact that it's really not easy for people not to understand our experiences, but we're trying to fit in this man's world. Like, what's gonna happen when I have children? And maybe I take a break. How do I kind of come back into the work world and try to fit in again? Do I have to, pull all-nighters because I don't want to explain to anyone having a baby at home and worrying about that all day might impact my work? I don't know. So those are things that I kind of worry about, but I think that this world's going to get better at. And I think that part of that is why I want to be a boss lady, so I can actually be vocal about these things and be a little bit more empathetic about some of these experiences that women are having.